Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're looking into a really fascinating story. It's about Alex Daniluk, who later became known as the hacker Zedd.
Right. We're using the film From Immigrant Struggles to Dark Web Ventures as our guide here. It really maps out his journey
From his family's arrival in Canada, dealing with all those immigrant challenges.
all the way to getting involved in some pretty serious cybercrime.
Yeah. So, our goal really is to unpack what led him down that path.
Exactly. We want to look at the factors, his early life, how technology influenced him, his views on money and the system.
And how all that kind of culminated in these cyber attacks and, well, large-scale fraud.
It's about understanding the person behind the actions, the complexities,
Yeah.
the motivations and the fallout.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. The film introduces his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Daniluk. They moved from Ukraine.
Yeah, to London, Ontario. And it sounds like it was tough going right from the start.
The film definitely paints a picture of financial struggle. Paying for the house was hard.
Very hard. The father was unemployed for a while, which put immense strain on them. They even relied on welfare for a time.
That's rough.
It is. Interestingly, the film notes how a friend, a Russian friend, helped his mother find a job.
Ah, okay, so that helped ease things a bit.
It offered some stability, yes, but it also meant her life became quite focused work, and her computer at home seemed to be her main outlets.
And that exposure to hardship, that economic vulnerability,
Yeah.
you think that stuck with Alex?
Oh, definitely. I mean, living through that, seeing your parents struggle,
Mhm.
it gives you a very real sense of how precarious things can be. It's not just about lacking money. It's that feeling of powerlessness.
Which could later twist into a kind of justification, maybe.
Possibly. It can be a really potent motivator, that feeling.
And the computer his mom used, that became important for Alex too, didn't it?
Hugely important. It
Yeah.
wasn't just a work tool for her. For him, it was like a gateway.
To the internet, basically.
Exactly. Video games, sure, but also forums, information. A whole universe opened up for him.
And he got inspired, thinking about tech figures.
Yeah, people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. He apparently had this early ambition to actually, make a positive difference, wanted to go to college.
But the reality check came pretty quickly.
It did. The film makes it clear he realized very early on that paying for college, that was going to be entirely on him.
So that kind of shifts things from big dreams to needing to make money like now.
Precisely. And that's where we see him taking these first steps into earning online, starting with that clicker job.
Right, the clicking job. What exactly was that?
He was literally just clicking links to generate website traffic. Paid something like $20 per 1,000 clicks.
Wow. Sounds mind-numbing.
Oh, I'm sure it was incredibly tedious. But the key takeaway for him, it seems, was proof. Proof that you can make money online.
Even if it was tiny amounts at first.
Exactly. It planted a seed. This digital world offered financial possibilities.
And did that lead him to think more about money itself? The bigger picture.
It seems like it did. The film mentions him getting interested in the banking system, its crises, its weaknesses.
Which probably resonated because of his family's own financial struggles.
You'd have to think so. Seeing the system's impact firsthand, then reading discussions online about its vulnerabilities, it connects.
And even if people were talking about fixing things.
He seemed to feel the flaws were kind of persistent, a sense that things weren't really changing fundamentally.
So you have this mix. Tough upbringing, but also this real curiosity, this drive to understand things.
Yeah, a desire to improve his situation, definitely.
Okay, then things take a darker turn. There's a major cyber attack mentioned.
Right. Government websites, banks, they get hit. And responsibility is claimed by a dark web organization.
Led by someone using the name Zedd.
And that's the first time we really hear that name associated with this level of activity. This is where Alex's online persona starts to intersect with major criminal events.
What does dark web organization even mean in this context? Is it like a secret club?
Sort of, but more hidden. It's parts of the internet you can't easily find with Google. You need special software, maybe certain connections. For Alex, finding them likely meant stumbling onto encrypted forums or sites where illegal stuff was discussed and planned, all under a cloak of anonymity.
And this group, with Zedd, they put out a video framing the attacks as resistance.
Yeah, that's a common tactic. This narrative of fighting against the system, against control, it can sound appealing, radical.
But is it genuine or just a cover?
That's the question, isn't it? The film doesn't necessarily give a definitive answer on their true motives. Was it ideology or just disruption and profit?
Because the impact was real. Stock market instability, Real fear.
Absolutely. Whatever their stated reasons, the consequences were serious. And this event really put Zedd on the map as a major cyber threat.
And right around this time, Alex is facing a crisis at home. His family might lose their house.
Yes, unemployment hits again, and they're facing potential homelessness. It's depicted as a very desperate moment.
He even offers his college savings. He does. Which just shows the pressure he was under, trying to fix this massive problem for his family.
And the film highlights his resentment towards the bank that fired his parent.
That seems crucial. A feeling of injustice, directed right at the financial system he was already questioning.
So he feels trapped, angry, desperate.
And looking for solutions online, where he's probably seeing all sorts of get-rich-quick schemes, scams, the dangerous side of the web.
It feels like a perfect storm brewing.
It really does. That mix of personal desperation and perceived systemic injustice seems to push him further.
Which leads him towards that hacker group, the one calling itself Dark Web. He was intrigued that their site stayed up.
Apparently, yeah. That persistence might have suggested power or skill to him. But getting in wasn't simple.
They had an initiation.
A test, basically. He had to commit an illegal act.
And that involved targeting someone at school, Randy Biffle.
That's right. He concocted this fake supplement scam. Tricked Randy into using his father's credit card without realizing it.
Wow. So that's his clear step over the line.
It's a pivotal moment. Doing something deliberately illegal to gain entry into this darker online world. No going back easily from that.
And once he's in, does he jump right into major stuff?
Not immediately. He starts, according to the film, by selling stolen goods, laptops, watches, things likely sourced through other illicit means.
And he had some success with that, made some money.
He did. And that initial success probably felt validating, reinforcing his decision.
So it escalates from there.
Pretty quickly, yeah. He moves up, gets access to buy and sell stolen credit card information, fake IDs, more serious, more profitable cybercrime.
And he wasn't alone. He teamed up with someone named Kira.
Right. Kira seems to have been important. The film suggests she taught him more advanced techniques, helped him move towards bigger operations.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing within the group.
No, definitely not. Criminal groups rarely are. The film shows tensions building.
Like what?
Suspicions about other members, disagreements about who to trust, how to run things, strategy. The usual instability you find in those circles.
And they even considered moving to Hong Kong.
Yeah, there was talk of relocating, maybe chasing bigger opportunities or escaping heat. They did spend time there.
Did it help?
It seems it actually highlighted a problem. The film suggests their time in Hong Kong made them feel, well, a bit rudderless, like their criminal activity lacked real purpose beyond just making money.
So a kind of existential crisis within the crime ring.
Something like that. A desire for a bigger impact, maybe, but relationships were fraying too.
And then comes the ATM heist in Hong Kong. That was big.
Huge. The dark web organization, likely involving Zedd and Kira, stole $2.3 million from ATMs.
How did they even do that? It must have been complex.
Extremely complex. Probably involved sophisticated malware planted on the machines, forcing them to dispense cash at certain times to waiting mules. The authorities were baffled, apparently.
And this is where the film shows the characters really grappling with things. Morality, danger.
Exactly. The stakes are higher, the crimes are bigger, and the personal cost, the moral compromises, the fear of getting caught or betrayed starts hitting home. People are wondering about their futures.
Which leads towards the end game, right? The staged attack.
Yes, a very audacious move. A staged attack involving the Federal Reserve Chairman. Highly disruptive, designed to cause maximum chaos.
But that ultimately brings the hammer down.
It does. Law enforcement closes in, arrests are made, and the stock market, which had been rattled, starts to recover.
And Zedd Alex is caught.
He is, identified as the leader, facing a barrage of serious charges. Wire fraud, even terrorism charges, given the nature of the attacks.
And Kira.
Kira Whittle, implicated alongside him. Just how interconnected it all was.
Oh, looking back, it's quite the transformation. From Alex Danyluk, the kid from the struggling immigrant family.
To Zedd, the notorious international cybercriminal. It's a stark journey.
And the key drivers seem pretty clear looking back through the film's lens.
Yeah, you've got the financial hardship early on, the fascination with tech, that sense of injustice boiling up, especially towards banks.
And then the pull of the dark web.
offering what seemed like answers or power.
A potent combination of factors.
And the ripple effects were massive. The cyber attacks, the ATM thefts, that final staged attack. Real financial damage, real societal disruption.
Absolutely. It really underscores the potential impact of cybercrime on a global scale.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with a pretty big question to chew on, I think.
Definitely. How much do these societal pressures, these feelings of being left behind or treated unfairly, interact with individual choices to create such extreme outcomes?
And maybe more importantly today, how does technology itself amplify everything? Both the potential for good that Alex initially saw and the potential for this kind of destructive path. Where's the balance?
Something to think about.